99%. You can put in here herbs, spices, your vegetables, different kinds of foods. We've gotten the issue coming up for May. It's unbelievable sometimes what you come across or hear about or whatever. Different ideas that you can do with mason jars. And I was floored because we grew up doing canning, preserving kind of stuff, and that was about it. We're not too exciting. But we did use them for drinking every so often because we've been to upper scale restaurant in St. Louis, and they use it for glasses with the red and white checkered, tablecloth. And we've also put flowers in them. Sometimes we had flowers in other vases, and so this made just a nice presentation. And we've done that. Also, the Ball Corporation people have gorgeous, I love these, the storing or sharing, they're called the sharing mason jars. Love those. Great size, the sharing mason jars. And those are a marvelous size. It's kind of like an octagon shape at the top. Love them. And the Ball Corporation is so excited about their new product because it's the only one in the market that I'm aware of. And it's the Amber, A-M-B-E-R jars. It blocks 99% of the harmful UV rays, which can help maintain the flavor, fragrance, and nutrients of foods, herbs, and spices. I'm telling you, we're having a great time with them ourselves. I went to our local stores, and they do have them in the chains right now, so that's great. On the back, it tells you how to prepare your gear of stuff and create your own recipe, or water bath canning, or preparing the jars, checking your seal, and then process jars. And it gives you some little tips in there about like the air bubbles, what to do with that. It's just a neat new product that they got. And the Sure-Tight lids seal up to 18 months. Now, in our household, we didn't let something sit for 18 months. We, maybe 6 months. So we would can, what it is that we had. And we found some old pictures this past week in some things we were going through from my mom. And we had a garden that was, this is a house that we lived in, 50 feet by, it was 20 or 30. Mom thinks 20, but I think it was 30 feet because of the width. And so we had a garden that size. And back then, who knew that we were so good at it, because the rows were really straight. My stepfather made sure that we put it on graph paper, had it graphed out what rows we wanted different food, and so then it was placed in there, real nice, neat place. And then we also put, because my parents owned a business, and as time went by, they had less and less time to deal with all the, taking out the weeds and water and stuff, so my brother and I had to pitch in. And so we used always plastic then from there on when business really was picking up. And so we always had plastic, and then we cut in the plastic where the places need to be for the plants to grow. And we did that with strawberries also. So it was better for us in the long run because we didn't have the time, but we always had a garden. And then my mom and her friend, Rosie, would always get together, and they would do the canning. So, and then a lot of times preserving. They made a lot of jams and jellies too. So we just, we had shelving I told you about beforehand, and they just would put them in there the different times they got to do the canning for the different vegetables. So good times. I know we do miss all that, but we try to do as best we can with the situation we got now. So because 30 by 50 is big, and in our town they don't have those kind of big plots. So the Ball Corporation, again, doing amber jars. It blocks 99% of the harmful UV rays. It's an amber color, very neat color. Brownish kind of color, brownish orangey kind of color, I'd say, and it helps maintain the flavor, fragrance, and nutrients of foods, herbs, and spices. And you're going to see a lot of neat stuff in May issue of Community Garden Magazine. Let's see. I want to remind you about the American Community Gardening Association. July 21st and 22nd, they have their 39th annual conference coming up. Right now they're getting different bids or proposals from people that want to do workshops, panel discussions, speaking events there, or whatever they want to do. And then they're going to look over those proposals and see what they want for that conference. So if you've got an idea, look it up on their website. It's www.communitygarden.org, and see if you fit into what they're looking forward to do. They want to make sure that we talk about urban farming for sure with community gardens, because a lot of people gravitate toward the urban farms, which was really big last year, big time last year. A lot of great larger cities picked up on that real fast. And because we're going back to the basics in life as Americans. We're jetting ahead with the technology and also with the spacecraft and the whole thing, but we're also getting back to the basics, because I think everybody's hit a wall as far as some of the stuff that we're listening to or seeing, and people just want to get back to the basics. So that's wonderful news for us in community gardens, because we are back to the basics. And I hear a local one, a community garden, they're really gearing up to do some work on their community garden soon to clear things out. Our weather is getting better, but we're still trying to get some snow possibly this weekend. So, our weather is still up and down. But our pear trees are out, and usually when a row of pear trees where I live in the area, believe it or not, when those are out, then a week later, then it's starting to be spring and a little bit hotter outside. So one side of the pear trees are out, the other one's trying to bloom. That's the one that really is the kicker of everything. And when those start really blooming out big time, which would be another week here, could be 2 weeks, but another week for sure, then a week after that, then we should start getting much warmer. So, but April for us in the Midwest means tornado weather, it's just what it is. So, but we're glad to almost get rid of this ice and snow stuff. So, just one more weekend. One more weekend. Okay, then we've got we've got the USDA. Tomorrow they're doing their tour, and I think this is a great tour. I would love for us to do a tour. I know of a company that we could contact to see if they can I know two companies, but they could probably put together something for us to do. I think we should do a community garden RV tour sometime. I would love to. The USDA is doing one, and what they call them, back to our roots is what it's called. They're going to be in Kentucky tomorrow, and that was with Secretary Sonny Perdue. And they basically go to different cities to show what's happening with the different businesses in farming. I think the business secretary, Linda McMahon, is going with him to Kentucky, I think. She's been with him with other trips. And they're trying to reach out to the business people to make sure, what it is that they're needing to be successful, how is it that they can produce more food for us, and what are they finding as far as speed bumps or problems, issues, that kind of thing. So I think we need to also be more to the ground, too, on community gardens and reach out to more people. I've felt that for a few years, but I've not successfully found the right venue or option or avenue to make that happen yet. I will continue to try to find a way to make that happen. Who knows? Instead of an RV, it may have to be a car, and we put a wrap on the car about community gardens is what I'm thinking. So I've gone from an RV kind of thing down to a cargo van, then down to a car. So I may have to use a skateboard. That might be an option. I think it'd be kind of cumbersome on those highways, but might be the option. Don't know. So we'll see what we can do. We're trying to get some things accomplished here. And it takes time. It takes the right person, place, event, situation, but we're still working on it. You're going to find that we're going to talk sometime coming up about the Year of the Beets. I think you see that coming up in the May issue of Community Garden Magazine, along with some neat, cool ideas using mason jars. Beets, it's the Year of the Beets and also the Year of the Purple Flowers. So you're going to probably see a lot of purple stuff going around at your plant stores, your garden centers. So the Year of the Beets, basically, my mom likes them. I'm not a fan, but I would try one of those drinks. I sure would, just see what it does. Beets are high in immune-boosting vitamin C, fiber, and essential minerals like potassium, which is essential for healthy nerve and muscle function, and magnesium, is that what it is? Which is good for your bones, liver, kidneys, and pancreas. Now, beets also contain the B vitamin folate, which helps reduce the risk of birth defects. So that's the deal about beets. And, there's certain beets, do they detox your body? Are they good for you? Which ones are better for you than others? That kind of thing. My mom likes the ones that come in a jar versus a can. I told her just before the show, I said, there's something you tell me to look for on the jar to make sure that's the one we want. And I can't remember. I don't think it says low in sugar or whatever, but something else. But usually that's what she buys for beets that she likes better. So we try to make sure we get those. We only are aware of them in one of our grocery stores locally. So I have to go to that particular store to get those. When we make our grocery list, I kid you not, somebody will say, how many grocery stores do you go to, one or two? No, we go to about 5 or 7. It depends on what we have to get. So if we have to get cheese, we go to GFS. If we go to our main one, it's Aldi. We love Aldi. We go to Walmart. We go to one of the regional stores from St. Louis area that's here. And then we go to one or two other stores that we just go in and get one or two items that we need, like for tea. We go to Fresh Market sometimes to get certain tea, or Meijer store. And Costco's getting ready to come here by fall, I think. They're trying to see how the weather is to be able to build it. But, wherever it is that they're selling what we need, that's where we go. So, and we're fortunate that two of the main sections on my grocery list is on just 2 streets. So we just make a circle of, 1, 2, 3 or 4 of them on one circle on the one street, 2 or 3 stoplights in between them. And then the other one is a little bit more longer. It's a longer stretch. But still, though, we don't really go that far. And people are like, oh, you go that many places? Yeah, it's just on our way. But it's the products we want. We were very picky on certain kinds of products that we want or like. So that's where we go. And we feel we can get fresher items certain places than others, and that's where we go. Some of them have deals with the farmers. Most of them now have deals with the farmers, local farmers, and even put that in their store that they have local deals with them. So, we've got the best of all worlds right now just going on those 2 streets. So that's what we do. Go for the freshest that you can go for. Go for what works for you. But do get your fruits and vegetables. I kid you not, that's going to help keep you healthy, wealthy, and wise. So you're listening to Community Garden Revolution. I want you to remember the April issue of Community Garden Magazine is out at www.magster.com. That's magzter.com in the health section. Yes. All right. This is Community Garden Revolution. I'm Mary Hukill. Have a great Community Garden Day.
Human beings can be hungry anytime they please. Maybe you messed up and didn't eat enough lunch. Perhaps dinner is very far away. It doesn't matter. Come to Arby's and solve your hunger problems with dollar sliders, cookies, small fries, drinks, and snack shakes, each for $1 from 2 to 5 p.m., not a.m. Arby's, we have the meat.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.